Elon Musk just announced that the Tesla Semi has finally entered production. It's been over 5 years since the truck was first unveiled, but Tesla has roughly maintained or improved its original planned specifications for the vehicle. It's Tesla's first foray into the highly competitive and lucrative commercial space from a vehicle perspective, since Tesla does have energy products that it sells to commercial players. But now the Tesla semi-truck is about to hit the market and change the way Tesla does business forever. And before I continue, stop using Yahoo Finance, stop using Google Finance, and have a look at our website, themarketisopen.com, where we have instant stock quotes and financial data going back 10 years, and it's all freely available. The first batch of Tesla semi-trucks is expected to go to Pepsi, something we've been hearing about for quite some time. Back in 2017, after the Semi was announced, Pepsi placed an order for 100 of these electric trucks. Then in 2021, we started hearing that the company expected to receive delivery by the end of the year, in Q4 of 2021. And even the CEO, Ramon Laguarta, came on CNBC to confirm this, saying that Pepsi was innovating together with Tesla in solutions that work for the particular needs of their trucks. Last year, Tesla was producing semi-trucks in very limited volume from their Giga Nevada factory. It's possible that they shipped a small number of trial vehicles to Pepsi for testing and validation purposes and worked with them in order to learn, make changes, and improve the offering. But the real home of the Tesla semi-truck is Giga Texas, where they plan to mass manufacture these vehicles. Giga Texas has been designed with a semi-truck in mind, even containing internal roads within the factory so that semi-trucks have access. Perhaps to bring in goods or components needed for the manufacture of electric cars, or as an output path for newly built Tesla trucks. In either case, it's likely that these indoor roads will support emission-free electric trucks as opposed to those fueled by diesel. Along similar lines, we've just heard recently that Tesla is planning to expand the Giga Nevada factory. This Gigafactory was never fully completed and stands at about 30% of its original expected size. Now, it doesn't look like Tesla is expanding this factory in order to produce more Tesla semis. That seems to be dedicated to Texas, but instead it will likely produce one of the key inputs for semi-trucks, which is batteries. One of the challenges with this factory is that Tesla has been working jointly with Panasonic to produce batteries, namely the 2170 cell, which is used in the Model 3 and the Model Y. Working alongside Tesla is tough, since they always want to move extremely fast, which may not match up with the speed of their partners. Nevertheless, Panasonic has a huge investment in the Nevada Gigafactory, and Tesla is going to work with them to likely produce their new 4680 cells, for which the equipment for these cells takes up much less floor space per gigawatt hour produced. It makes much more sense to keep Giga Nevada as a battery factory as opposed to trying to add semi-truck production here, and instead ship batteries as they're currently doing to whichever factory they need, Fremont or Texas. Though Texas will likely be able to ramp up enough 4680 cells on its own, and that will be localized right in the same building as the Tesla semi-truck production site. It should also be noted that the 4680 cells are the only type of cells that the Tesla Semi works with, since they plan on maintaining high performance standards such as high range and low weight, something that's very important in the trucking industry since there are regulatory limits on how much the semi-trucks can weigh. Tesla is also ramping up 4680 battery cells at their pilot facility in California on Cato Road, which has been supplying Giga Texas as well. The commencement of the semi-truck entering production signifies that Tesla's 4680 battery cell production must be going well. These trucks could draw on roughly 10 times as many battery cells as a regular Tesla vehicle. In addition, Tesla has shifted its Model Y production at Giga Texas to use non-structural packs with 2170 battery cells, which frees up more 4680s necessary for building semi-trucks. Nevertheless, Tesla spoke about its Cato Road facility growing battery production at 35% per month, and it was planning for Giga Texas to outdo this. So now it makes sense to begin assembling semi-trucks, something that Tesla could have done long ago, but there were simply no 4680 batteries available. It's taken years for all of the pieces to come together, specifically the build-out of the massive Austin Gigafactory as a location to actually build these electric trucks and the components that go into them. This is why Elon Musk is now excited to start semi-truck production, something that more recently was supposed to happen in 2023 and has been moved to right now in 2022. Within 2 months of the start of production, Tesla expects deliveries to Pepsi to occur on December 1st, 2022, and this date was confirmed by PepsiCo for their California operations. This will have drastic positive impacts on Pepsi's business. See, the naysayers are looking at Tesla Semi and saying that 500 miles of range is terrible. A real diesel truck can do over 2,000 miles on a single tank of fuel. Therefore, Tesla doesn't know anything about trucking. But the large companies with the big money are placing orders with Tesla. And if anyone knows anything about trucks, it's Pepsi. They have gigantic distribution capabilities and logistics, and they've been working with Tesla for 5 years. So both companies can't wait to get these trucks delivered. One of the main things the naysayers are missing is how much money an electric truck saves over diesel. A diesel truck with a range of 2,000 miles may require 300 gallons of diesel in order to achieve this. The price of diesel currently costs about $6 per gallon, and this fluctuates and is usually lower in other states, but Pepsi is looking at California. So that's about $1,800 for a single tank, but for 2,000 miles. The Tesla Semi has a fully loaded range of 500 miles. Back in 2017, Tesla guaranteed a price of 7 cents per kilowatt hour. While in California electricity prices are higher, Tesla may be able to get cheaper commercial rates, especially if they install solar panels at each charging station, something they do often at their superchargers. Then perhaps they can achieve close to their 7-cent rate. Let's assume a worst-case scenario where the Tesla Semi has a 1,000 kilowatt-hour battery pack, though it will likely be much lower given Tesla's stated efficiency of less than 2 kilowatt-hours per mile. Even at 20 cents per kilowatt-hour, that's $200 per charge or $800 for 4 charges to get up to 2,000 miles. At 7 cents, that's just $280 for 2,000 miles worth of electricity, just 15% of the cost of diesel. At this rate, Pepsi could be saving $1,500 on the equivalent of every diesel truck fill-up. This alone, not to mention other factors like reduced maintenance, tax credits, etc., make the Tesla Semi a no-brainer. As a matter of fact, the other companies that Tesla is going up against that know how to make trucks and quote-unquote know about trucking seem to be complete jokes. In my last Tesla Semi video, I spoke about the Freightliner e-Cascadia, which is owned by Daimler, the largest maker of trucks in the world. This truck's longest range was just 230 miles with a typical load, and it could take over 90 minutes to charge up. Tesla is targeting 30 minutes for a 70% charge, and their battery pack is much larger. The Volvo Electric FH has a maximum range of approximately 187 miles, meaning it needs to charge up at least 2.5 times more often than a Tesla Semi, and each charge, with a fast charger even, takes 2.5 hours. This vehicle also looks like a giant wind sail and isn't built for efficiency. It appears that the legacy truck makers are trying to fit their diesel trucks with electric motors instead of redesigning them from the ground up. Diesel trucks don't need high efficiency and low drag coefficients, but electric trucks do. Volvo's SH is also rated to carry a total of 96,000 pounds, much higher than the 82,000 pound limit in the US. That vehicle won't be allowed to operate at full capacity on US roads, which hurts its utility. Again, Tesla was forced to wait 5 years to get all the components and technology together for manufacturing, 4680 battery cells, mega chargers, and software. Legacy Auto doesn't even think it's possible to build a 500-mile semi-truck, and they're right, they won't be able to build one. Tesla's 4680 battery cells are key here. You can't put any type of lithium-iron type batteries into a semi-truck, like BYD's popular Blade batteries for instance, since they're too heavy and have low energy density. So Tesla has very limited competition right now on the manufacturing front. And this might be even better with software. Tesla has redesigned the interior of the semi-truck to have 2 large displays, almost like an iPhone moment, where instead of having these plastic buttons, we're just going to have a giant touch screen, and this could enable better ways of utilizing the software. During the initial presentation in 2017, where Elon Musk unveiled the Tesla Semi, he discusses third-party devices and fleet management systems. Take a listen.
I don't want to hurt your eyes, but that's what a diesel truck looks like today. It's a clutter of third-party devices. It's very difficult to use. It requires integration, installation. These things don't talk to each other. It's a pain in the neck. It has significant add-on costs, whereas the Tesla Semi, all of this is included. It's included in every truck. Everything just works. The moment you get the truck, it's got everything. And it'll seamlessly integrate with all the fleet systems, the things that are really important to the trucking industry.
First off, he may have shown an extreme example of a cluttered diesel truck, but it doesn't seem too far off. Some of these systems are ancient, and imagine taking delivery of a brand new diesel truck and then having to install new hardware on top of it. Not only do these devices cost money, but the labor required to wire in new devices and get them set up for a single truck could take hours, and then multiply that by hundreds of trucks for a single customer, and that's quite a large investment. And then again, you're left with a clutter of devices. My understanding is that the goal here with the Tesla Semi is to completely eliminate the need for all of this in-cab hardware. Elon Musk says that all of the hardware is included, which really means that the Tesla Semi is capable of simply displacing all of these extra add-ons, which not only looks better inside the truck, getting rid of all this cluster and distraction, but will instantly save money from having to install extra things post-delivery. Now, what do these hardware devices actually do? To simplify it down, their main purpose is either to collect and transmit data or to display information to the driver. One example is collecting metrics from the vehicle itself, such as connecting to the OBD2 port, which is the onboard diagnostic system that almost all cars have as well. This can provide information about speed, mileage, fault codes, emissions, and fuel consumption, and much more. Now, this is something that Tesla already does in all of its electric vehicles. Sure, any vehicle can collect this information, but Tesla has always been able to remotely look at the logs and metrics and diagnose the vehicle over the air essentially, which is what legacy vehicles are generally missing. So obviously, it's worth noting that Tesla's solution is a big shock to any companies making add-on hardware for vehicles because each new truck that hits the road no longer needs this. Now, these companies will be focused for many years on the rest of the market, such as the existing fleet which doesn't have this hardware and connectivity built in. And so it's not like Tesla will destroy these companies right away, but over time their addressable markets will slowly become smaller and smaller. Another perhaps more relatable example is a dash cam solution for trucks. Some companies sell cameras which need to be installed, plus some extra hardware that is needed to transmit the information to external servers, and then they can process the data and return information back to the drivers or to the fleet management administrators. But if you think about it, Tesla already has a better solution for most of these pieces. They already have 360-degree surround cameras for all their vehicles, which is a better configuration than any third-party integration can possibly offer. Their Sentry mode on consumer vehicles adapts perfectly for trucks to detect and send out alerts and notifications. So these other companies are trying to sell video, cloud storage, and alerts, and Tesla basically already has that all built in. Currently, in Tesla cars, the video footage can be stored locally on a USB drive, and so Tesla could easily make adjustments or sell monthly services for cloud storage for truckers. But the point is that so far, Tesla replaces all of these systems. Now, the software piece is not 100% clear from what Elon Musk said during the Tesla Semi unveil. He said that the moment you get the truck, this all works. It has everything and will integrate seamlessly with all of the fleet's systems. Now, I think that this may be misinterpreted. One of the things that's important to fleet management systems, in addition to the aforementioned metrics, is the GPS location of the truck itself. When managing an entire fleet of multiple trucks, all of this data can be combined to better analyze or provide reporting for the entire fleet as a whole. For instance, are the trucks located where they're supposed to be? Were shipments picked up on time? Are there too many trucks in one area doing nothing and just costing the company money to be underutilized, etc.? And so this is where the fleet management systems come into play. Now, some of these systems are archaic, and it's highly unlikely that Tesla is integrated with them. Actually, it's unlikely that Tesla is integrated with any of them unless they picked a partner to work with. Again, Tesla doesn't like to have to rely on the speed at which third-party players move. So I think that Elon Musk meant that it could integrate with any of these systems seamlessly. Tesla may provide protocols for which the data can perhaps be seamlessly sent to these systems, but there would be likely more work on the end of the third-party provider to process Tesla's data and put it into their systems. I also don't think that Tesla would allow third-party apps to run natively on their console in the cab. They do that a little bit, but Tesla picks and chooses what software it allows, and this is for safety and security reasons. For instance, you can log into Spotify on a Tesla because the app is supported, but there's no real app store, and Tesla doesn't currently have the bandwidth to basically manually add every single app. So for trucking, one unlikely option is that Tesla could have partnered with some third-party companies that happen to have apps and worked with them to connect Tesla's data to these apps in order to run inside the Tesla Semi. But this doesn't seem to line up with what Elon Musk said, that the Semi can run any one of these third-party applications. My guess is that Tesla will provide some sort of API where trucking companies can get data from each of their vehicles, and to display the information back to the driver, all of the cloud-based systems may just work automatically because Tesla has a web browser that you can simply log on to your company's truck management system's website to gain some extra information. But I think there would still need to be work on the back end for these third-party companies to collect and process Tesla's data if that's something that Tesla will allow. In addition, it would be interesting to see if Tesla did this all themselves, if they created their own truck management software. They have all of the sensors, they have all of the data, they have it all in the cloud, and they can easily replace any truck management software by making their own and having it built in. Elon Musk did say that as soon as you get the truck, it just works. And Tesla has had about 5 years since the launch in 2017 of the product until today, when it's actually being delivered, to build their own custom solution. Nevertheless, the fleet management abilities of the trucking industry can range from pen and paper to many different third-party devices to local and cloud software that can't communicate with other entities. It's essentially a big mess with everyone using something different, not only per company, but even within a single company there are different layers of tools being used to manage billing or shipping or leasing, etc. And so Tesla could come up with their own solution to manage semis, but at least in the meantime, it's likely that it will have to feed into each company's current existing hodgepodge of management systems so that Tesla semis can be managed along with these companies' existing fleets. Now in Tesla's case, they only need to look at Tesla semis, so it's likely that they do have their own standard way of managing their own fleets, since they can already do that somewhat with cars. Elon Musk is also planning a future robotaxi network, which is a form of fleet management. So the engineers at Tesla may in fact be working on fleet management software, but for freight and trucking. The Tesla Semi is a highly disruptive product from manufacturing to operations to software. It's a commercial product, so we haven't yet gotten a confirmation from Tesla that the $180,000 price tag from 2017 will still be the same today. What's for certain is that in this current quarter, for the first time since the Model Y, Tesla will be adding a new product to its lineup of vehicles that will throw financial analysts off their mark, as semis will be relatively low in numbers, but high in contributing to revenue and earnings. So does Tesla have a multi-year lead in electric trucks? And do you think Tesla will set a new standard with its own fleet management software for the trucking industry? If you've enjoyed this video, have a look at my last video on Tesla's AI Day robot and how it stacks up to Boston Dynamics. Please hit the like button and subscribe, we would really appreciate that. And a huge shout out to all of our patrons that help to support our channel. Your support helps us to continue to make great content. Thank you guys so much for watching.